pancake butt.
Oh no.
Complete pancake butt. So.
We're here today at Super Training Gym with the one and only Leanna Carr.
Hello.
She's warming up for some deadlifts with the hip circle. And what do you got planned today for the deadlifts?
Today I have a 3x3 with 315, and then Silent Mike challenged me.
He's issued a challenge.
He will be doing 315 AMRAP on bench, and I will be doing a 315 AMRAP on deadlift.
All right, well, let's make it totally fair. He's got to do 3 sets of 3 first with the 315.
Yes.
Get the pre-fatigue in there, and then they're both going to go all out.
So.
Are you guys going to do it at the same time?
I think we should.
Should do it at the same time.
Maybe.
It'd be hard to record though.
Yeah, it would be. Okay, we'll go. I'll let him go first.
Split screen.
This is what we're gonna do. He's gonna go first, so I can know how many I need to get. Because once I know a number, don't tell him that though. He's benching. He can't
Silent
hear.
Mike never went to college.
Okay.
She's in college. She's got one up on him a little bit there. She's a little smarter.
Yeah. So we'll let Mike go first, and then I will adjust my mentality and load accordingly. So.
Leanna is a power lifter who has done
my best in competition: 303 squat, 165 bench press, and 350 deadlift.
All in the super heavyweight category.
Super heavyweight.
What weight class is that in?
63 kilos, so 138 for you Americans out there.
She's also a figure competitor.
Mm-hmm.
You also won
pro, yes.
Figure pro.
Yes, in the WMBF.
Nice, and you also won the bodybuilding.com.
I got second place.
Second place. You got second place in the bodybuilding.com.
But I did get offered a sponsorship through their company as well. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And then she's also just like really hot, and she's super cool, and that's why we have her here today.
Well, thank you.
And let's see what you got. I want to try to walk you through some tips on the deadlift. So hopefully your form's not too ugly.
Hopefully.
Otherwise, the YouTubers are going to get upset with you.
Yeah, hopefully I don't pee everywhere. I usually,
Does that happen?
Yes, it is very common. I think a lot of women are embarrassed by the first time it happens, but...
So you have a problem with number 1, and I have more of a problem with number 2.
Yes, I think your case is a little bit worse.
Don't worry, we're going to cut this out, right?
Just being honest, being myself, and it is something that if you're a female, not that it's healthy, I think a lot of it has to do with pelvic floor dysfunction, and because obviously even
if you pee, it's still
it's stress, a lot of stress when you're lifting heavy loads. You have a lot of air in your lungs and diaphragm. It kind of all connects, and it
something's got to go somewhere. Is the basis of it, I guess.
So hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see. But
is there any preventative measures for that?
I know I'm not a doctor. I know that there are some exercises you can do to kind of strengthen the pelvic floor.
This is where the views start to go through the roof once we start showing those exercises.
Yeah. I don't know them though, and so if this happens and you're concerned about it, then ask Mark or see a doctor.
I'm a professional. All right, here we go.
All right, let's do it. So the hip circle is actually probably one of my favorite tools, not just saying that because I'm here and Mark's looking and watching my every move, but I've found, especially warming up, whether I'm squatting or deadlifting, really focusing on activating my glutes, which is a very, very important component in a squat and a deadlift. It's been very beneficial to kind of get in a couple reps of these, some side steps, just stuff like that to really activate the glutes and feel warm before lifting, because that is important if you don't want to injure yourself.
Is that important to hold your own butt cheeks as you're going through the...
I do this for a reason. And the reason why?
Glute activation.
To distract people, but also there's people say that when you touch the specific muscle that you're trying to work, it kind of
I see bodybuilders use that method quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And you
mind-muscle connection type deal?
Yes.
I thought you were digging your nails in there to make you move faster. Kind of like a giddy-up type move.
Yeah, that would work too, maybe. Is that what you do?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hey now.
I don't really do too much static stretching or too much mobility stuff. It's really just priming for the movement. So I'll do a lot of explosive warming up with a bar, just things that are very specific to what I'm doing. So these are awesome.
Leanna, do you stretch quite a bit?
Yes, I do after I work out. I try not to do too much static stretching before I work out. Like I said, I kind of just like to do stuff that are more specific to my workouts. Obviously, with a deadlift, it's an explosive movement, so I want to try to do things that'll, kind
of wake your muscles up for the workout type deal.
Exactly. So, but I do stretch a good amount after I work out.
Feels good, or just want to keep the muscles long?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Kind of all the above.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mess with any conventional deadlifting? I see, here you're doing sumo.
Yeah.
Do you mix it in sometimes, conventional deadlifts?
So, depends on, exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm not in a training block for a specific meet right now. I'm just kind of in a more higher volume phase, and obviously the closer you get to the meet, the more specific you need to be. So right now I am sumo pulling once a week just because I'm trying to get stronger in that, but also doing a lot more hypertrophy work, and with that I typically do Romanian deadlifts. I'm stiff-legged. I'll do conventional, nothing heavy, more in the higher up range, just to increase my volume and really just kind of focus more on my lacking body parts, which for me it's my posterior chain. So trying to get strong glutes and hamstrings, because I'm quad dominant.
You got some quads there for sure.
But the backside is.
What's the most you ever done conventional?
The same, actually.
Oh, really?
I started out conventional and I pulled 350, and then I wasn't progressing, and it was kind of hurting my back a little bit.
Right.
So, and because I am, pretty bottom heavy, I have strong legs. I was told to switch to sumo, and in time I just felt sumo felt a little bit more comfortable for me.
You get a lot of questions about like sumo or conventional, what's the ideal body type, and it gets to be really confusing. Find what feels best to you.
Yeah.
She said she was not making any progress anymore, so she switched. However,
I'm still not making progress.
Yeah, you're right. You're still the same, right?
Yeah.
However, in deadlifting in general, it's nice to have a short torso, which she has, and it's nice to have long arms, which she doesn't have like crazy long arms, but women in general kind of have a little bit longer limbs than guys do, and typically shorter torsos. That's why you end up seeing so many women do a sumo stance.
Yeah.
Also, women typically are a little bit more mobile than guys are. They're able to force their knees out and get a little bit more upright position when they do a deadlift, and so that's why you see a lot of women switch over to doing sumo.
Exactly. I feel like sumo feels just so much more like a pushing or pressing movement. It's not really, the pulling like a conventional.
Yeah, you're like pressing into the floor type deal.
Yeah, exactly. If you can break off the ground, get maybe like 3 inches off the ground and really like be patient with it, then for the most part people can typically lock out a sumo. So that's.
And also keep in mind, it is powerlifting.
Yes.
And we're not only trying to raise one lift, we're trying to raise all 3 lifts.
Exactly.
And so if you're doing conventional deadlifts, which I have some women in here, they'll do conventional deadlifting and they don't mind it. They'll do it to strengthen their weakness and so on. But a lot of times they'll complain and say that it hurts their back or aggravates their back if they go too heavy on it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go heavy on a conventional deadlift and it hurts your back, what's that going to do for your total? It's going to be hard to bench. It'll be hard to set up on the bench, get in the right position.
Yes.
And then squatting is going to be a nightmare.
Exactly.
And it kind of bleeds into the next workout and stuff like that. So if you're gifted one way or the other, sumo or conventional, you do want to train both, but be smart about it. If something's hurting or something's not working, switch to something different.
Exactly, especially in a sport such as powerlifting. The goal is longevity and health.
Right.
And people do stupid things and will train too much, and I think a lot of people think that powerlifting is such a dangerous sport, and when it comes down to it, it's really just about being smart with your training. Like, working harder is not always better, it's about working smarter. So
Amen to that, sister.
Staying healthy.
Yeah, health and longevity are obviously a huge part of it. If some lifters that have been lifting for 10 years never gotten hurt, they'd be at some crazy levels of strength. I know for myself, if I never gotten hurt, I would have already benched over 600 pounds and things like that, but injuries happen, things happen, but like she's saying, be smart about it.
People being silly.
Okay.
Leanna.
Yes, thank you. I know that's to see what we did. Me and Mike were talking, pretending I wasn't paying attention, and then the weights are magically loaded.
Just load it up. Look at that.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. Talk us through a sumo deadlift.
All right.
What do you do?
Okay, so the difference between sumo and conventional obviously is feet and hand placement. For a conventional, your arms are going to be outside of your feet. For a sumo, your hands, and it is very dependent on the individual, but it will be in between your legs. leg width is, like I said, independent, like whether, what feels most comfortable to you. I have a pretty wide sumo stance.
Yeah.
I think people would, say that, but I think that it just feels what's best for me. And obviously, as a powerlifter in competition, you want to be, do whatever it is to be competitive. So obviously, people say sumo is a cheater pull; it's not a real deadlift. It decreases the range of motion from the floor to lockout position, but at the same time, in a game where it doesn't matter which way you pull, you want to take advantage of whatever you can. So for me, it definitely decreases.
Keep in mind what she also just said there. A really key component to the whole thing is she said she goes wider. It's comfortable for her. It works for her. If it's not comfortable, then don't do it.
Exactly. And some people they have like a bit of a hybrid. A little bit lower, but they still like to. You
got good enough mobility, you're able to handle it, so you go
exactly.
wider.
And mobility is a huge thing too. I think the first time I started pulling sumo, my hips were trashed for like 2 weeks afterwards. I literally could not feel my groin. So it definitely helps to have that mobility, but it's very dependent on the individual. Sumo deadlift as opposed to a conventional, your grip will be in the middle. I like to use a mixed grip. I know for physique purposes, people say that, you should be doing like double overhand, and that is because I think some people are scared they're going to tear their bicep, especially if you're a bodybuilder. That's, obviously bicep is a very, very big proponent of a physique, but at the same time, mixed grip helps me be able to grip the bar and actually hold it. And obviously, if I'm doing high rep stuff, I'll just use straps.
Gotcha.
But so for a sumo, the biggest things that you want to be aware of is hip positioning and how, I guess, you're going to be in a more upright position. So a good rule of thumb is having your scapula in line with the bar. I think that that a lot of people.
Scapula, where's that?
Back here.
There we go.
Yeah, so your scapula, shoulder blades, in line with the bar. A lot of mistakes that I see people do is, either starting too far over the bar or too far behind the bar. And what that does, if you start too far behind the bar, it tends to, your hips tend to shoot up a little bit before, the rest of your body, and with
becomes a two-part lift.
Exactly. It's kind of, deadlift should be it should be a hinging movement. Everything should kind of flow and lift up at the same time. So and then obviously if you're too far over the bar, which I think a lot of conventional pullers, that's kind of conventional. You start and your chest is a little bit over the bar, and that just
might use more lower back.
Exactly. So sumo is really engages your posterior chain. So use it.
Yeah, sumo, you're trying to take advantage of being able to use your legs in a squatting type of motion and being able to utilize your lower back simultaneously. That's what gets to be tricky about it.
Yes. And then just another cue that I like to think about is you really want to have your lats engaged and packed as tight as possible, and that'll decrease a lot of curving in your upper back, the ugly and not very safe way to sumo. So you want
lats are right here.
Yes. So you
on the sides, right underneath your armpits.
Yeah. So you just kind of want to keep the bar as close to you as possible. That kind of, it decreases range of motion and just, makes it easier. And that's kind of what we want to. A
little bit better posture, as she mentioned already as well.
Yes. So, I'll just, demonstrate. I'm sure most people watching know what a sumo is, but at the same time, it's good to kind of think about different cues, and I think everyone has different cues.
Why are your hands out right now? Just balance?
It's a weird powerlifter thing. That's kind of just how I start. It's just, what I do to help me get ready to deadlift. I think. So you have your own powerlifter.
Everyone's got weird things.
So what I do with that, I just kind of focus on squeezing my armpit, protecting the pitch. Chad Wesley Smith taught me that, and that really just kind of helps me think about engaging my lats. So.
There you go. Good. I know you already talked about the lats, which helps give you a little bit better posture, helps pull your chest up. Do you have any cues for people that have a hard time keeping their back flat?
Really, so if you do engage your lats and you keep the bar as close as possible, typically that will help with keeping your back flat.
If the bar ends up out in front of you.
Exactly, exactly. And then just like I said, like making sure that your hips don't shoot before the rest of the movement. So I think a lot of times when people aren't wary of that, then obviously your hips will shoot and you're already in like a terrible starting position. So making sure that it's not a squat. You don't want to go all the way down to the ground and kind of start right here, because that's not a very strong starting position. And what that'll do, if you're right here, it's not a good position to begin with. A lot of times people start pulling, their hips will go up, and that kind of just makes your background already.
So whenever you don't have tightness, a lot of times you're going to end up rounded over. It's basically what she's saying, because if your hips are too high when you start, you're going to end up rounded over. If your hips are too low, you're going to end up rounded over. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
so all about starting position, finding, what works best with your leverages. And practice. Lifting is a skill. The more you do it, the better you become at it. So
yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
There you go. Just like anything else in life.
All right, next weight.
Yeah.
There you go, good. Easy.
How's it gonna feel to kick sound Mike's ass?
Feels good. You know what? I would say I feel bad for him, but I don't, because Silent Mike is a shit talker. Don't tell him I said that. He's probably gonna watch this. But yeah, hopefully we'll see. Crap, look at him. He's over there eating. He got done with his sets before me, so he has a little bit more rest time. But I feel confident in my abilities.
So you're saying he's a cheater?
He's a cheater. Everyone knew that, though. I mean, yeah, when you have a lot of weight right there and you can just really push into the belt, that's totally cheating, man.
You mean he's fat?
Try to be jacked and strong. Let's see how strong he is then. 0 is not natty. No, the worst thing to do is deadlift with acrylics on. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it, especially if you pull sumo, especially if you pull mixed grip. You just kind of claw yourself. It's terrible, but it's perks of being girly, I guess. So, about to do my 315 sets, and to prepare, I not only warm up with the weight, but I put on a pee pad. And no shame, like I said, girls do it. I'd rather wear this than pee all over Mark's very fine equipment. So, yeah. You're not allowed in though. Did Mike already go?
Yeah, he went. He got 8 reps.
8 reps. Oh man. All right,
check it out.
See. Dude, Mike was stronger than I thought he was. Don't tell him I said
You thought he was a pansy, right?
Wow, those look nice.
Look at, he's bouncing off his big belly. You're not gonna be able to do that with your deadlift. You're not gonna be able to bounce it off your stomach like that. That's cheating.
What a cheater. All right.
All right, you got your work cut out for you, sister.
So I got 8 reps. All right.
I think you're good for 11 reps. Because, you know why? Because I believe in you.
Okay.
And I believe in super training and what this gym stands for.
And I had 2 monsters today.
And you had 2 monsters. You have rice waiting for you. And you're Asian. And that combination.
Dude, it's like totally.
That combination coming together.
You got
coming together.
11 reps. We'll see, man. All right.
All right, cheat. Use chalk.
Yeah.
A belt.
Oh, yeah.
Nose torque. I'll smack you upside your head before you go.
So the first time, actually, funny story, that I used nose torque, it was during a competition. The first time. Terrible idea. First attempt deadlift. Sniffed it, had like way too big of a sniff.
Yeah, you don't know what to do with it when you first do it.
Had no idea what was going on. I walked up to the bar, couldn't even get it off the ground. It was like 270.
That's great.
So I learned my lesson. Don't experiment with things on meet day.
Yeah, I've done stuff like that. It just makes you cry more than anything else. You're like, oh.
So.
All right, get to it. Let's go. 11. She's gonna do 11.
11. We'll see. I think the most I've done is maybe 6 or 7. So.
And if you pee on the platform, I don't care.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Like I'm literally gonna. All right. I'm gonna keep going if I pee, so hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll
Let's
see.
go. Come on. Let's go, Leanna. Come on. Come on, get it moving now. Let's go.
10 easy singles. Let's go.
There you go. Good. 1, 2,
Come on.
3. Yep. There you go. Good. 4. Good. Stick with it. Stick with it. 5. Stay with it now. Come on. 6. Come on. You're doing it for all the girls. Let's go. 7. Come on, Leanna. Stay with it now. Here it is. Here's 8 for the tie. Yep. Here we go. Come on. 9. There we go. Good. Yep. Lock it. Lock it. Lock it. Good. Yeah. There you go. All right. All right. Leanna over here. Silent Mike over here.
Oh man.
And the winner and the new champion of Super Training Gym, Leanna Carr. Hey!
Man. Mike, how does it make you feel? Those are probably freaking hideous.
No, not that bad.
Okay.
This is where you'd say, oh, I wasn't really trying that hard, and then you make up a new thing to challenge her with.
Oh, I thought we were just doing
Pose down?
the fastest.
Oh, I don't know. Yours were pretty fast.
That's the best sore loser thing. Well, I wasn't really trying that hard, but if we did this, I'd kick your ass.
Oh, did you deadlift yesterday? Because I benched yesterday.
I Romanian deadlift. Oh man.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. That was a PR for sure. Dude, that was a PR.
That was a good battle right there.
Dude, I just had to do one more than Mike.
That was great.
I think
that was awesome.
my max I think is 6, so
Damn.
nice.
There you
And
go.
I think so to put things in perspective too. So I do an AMRAP every week right now just to kind of auto-regulate. And,
You've been prepping for this
dictate.
day, is what you're saying.
Basically.
365 days, she's been prepping for this day, Mike.
I knew I had to beat Mike. But yeah, I think last week I did 295 for 6 as my AMRAP. So
Nice.
that kind of just goes to show, and that's why I love auto-regulation, is because if you're feeling good in the gym, then
and you're in a new environment.
Yeah.
You're at Super Training Gym, a new stimulus.
Exactly.
You got someone that challenged you, and then there you go. Boom.
basically my motivation for today, beat Silent Mike.
Poor Silent Mike.
Mission accomplished.
I don't know what the guy's going to do with himself now. Wait a second. What about a dance-off?
I don't know, because Mr. 3DMJ might want to hop in.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah, what about a dance-off? That's awesome. All right, we got finished doing some deadlifting, and Mike was doing some benching, and you know, I guess like you can't win them all.
Well, like since I've been benching every day, I feel like my fatigue was a little bit further, so I'm not really worried. Probably next time we see each other at the Arnold, I'll probably just do it for like 12.
How was your hydration?
Sorry.
Well,
Maybe like your hydration was off. The sun's out. The sun is in your eyes.
It's kind of weird. I had my water bottle, and then all of a sudden, when I went to go in between sets, my water bottle was gone. So maybe like somebody took it.
So, Mark, he set you up to lose.
I guess
man.
it's
Set you
like-
up for failure.
It is a girl versus a guy, though. So you know.
Well, it's like those big old things against these tiny things.
Yeah. Oh, that's the
true.
discrepancy
I
right
do
there.
have an advantage.
That's kind of cheating.
All right, you know what though? Next time.
Thunder thighs and chub rub.
That is true. Now that I know what
chub rub is.
is,
It's a serious issue.
It is.
And it
That
has
was-
nothing to do with being chubby.
Yeah.
Or having a chubby.
That was awesome, though. 315 for.
9
9 reps.
I was very surprised with
Yeah,
that.
if he didn't make that challenge, you wouldn't have got it. So you got to
Yeah.
thank the guy.
Exactly.
You're
Thank
welcome
you.
that I sandbag and
Thank
let you win.
No, it is cool though, like just like the environment, and you know, like you said, having days where you feel a little bit stronger than others. Like that's why I love auto-regulation. It's just because it literally goes about how you feel on a certain day. So
It probably doesn't hurt that you got two hunky men around you.
Exactly.
Sure.
That's got to,
That's
you know, really
exactly-
stimulate certain things. You know?
Hashtag handsome, hashtag Jackson.
Jacked and tan. I think I'm the tannest out of all of us.
That's true, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. What? Holy shit. Put those guns away.
Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, that's it. Strength is never weakness, and that is it from Super Training Gym.
Jim.